It's easy to think that making a knit skirt is as simple as cutting out a piece of fabric and sewing one side seam, and yes, you can. But if you want a beautiful fit, spending just a few minutes drafting a proper pattern, trust me, makes all the difference. Today we'll draft a universal knit skirt pattern that can be modified into a mini, a knee length, a midi, or a maxi skirt. I will also show you how to adjust it for a natural waist or a lower rise version. And because great patterns should work for everybody, you'll see how beautifully it fits both slim and curvier figures. Let's get started! For this basic skirt block, we'll only need a few measurements: your waist circumference and your hip circumference. You'll also need the distance from your natural waist to your fullest hip, and for most people, this measurement is very consistent. I would use 7 3/4 inches if you're under 5'6", or simply 8 inches if you're over 5'8". If you'd like to be extra precise, you can always measure it yourself. And of course, the easiest way to find your waist is to tie a small belt or a shoelace around it. One last helpful measurement is from your natural waist to the center of your knee, measured straight down the front, not along the side seam. I used 25 inches for my basic block, but feel free to measure your own. And once your basic block is drafted, you can adjust the length for the mini skirt or for the ankle length skirt directly on the fabric. It's quick and easy. Write down your measurements and we're ready to draft our pattern. Before we start drafting, let's quickly talk about ease. When we drafted the basic straight skirt block, we added a little extra room so the skirt would be comfortable to move in. For knit and stretch fabrics, many pattern making books recommend using negative ease, which means subtracting from your measurements. Personally, I wouldn't recommend doing that right away because stretch fabrics can behave very differently. And if your fabric isn't very stretchy, negative ease can make the skirt much tighter than expected. So when we calculate the width, for example, hips divided by 4, we're not adding anything, but we're not subtracting anything either. I recommend starting with 0 ease. It's always easier to sew another line later and make the skirt a little tighter than to cut it too small and then regret it afterward. We will start with this rectangle where the distance A to B is your waist to knee measurement and A to C is your hip circumference divided by 4. A to D is that waist to hip measurement, which is close to 8 inches, and A to E is your waist circumference divided by 4. Point F is ½ inch above E. Now connect all the points as shown using smooth curves to shape the waistline and side seam. Technically, our pattern is finished, but if you want a separate version that sits a little below the natural waist, we need to make that adjustment directly on the pattern. You could, of course, sew the original waistline and just pull the skirt down, but no, that's not how good seamstresses do it. So, measure 2 inches down from the top edge and mark it in several places, making sure the distance stays even. Then connect the marks with a smooth new waistline. And if you're feeling extra courageous, you can even go down 2.5 or more inches. Once you draw that new line, your adjusted pattern is ready. And lastly, don't be afraid of knit fabrics. So many people are nervous about sewing with them, but honestly, they're often easier to work with than woven fabrics. And you absolutely don't need a fancy cover stitch machine or even a serger to make beautiful knit garments. A regular sewing machine is more than enough. Don't forget to click on like if you find my videos helpful, and I hope you create lots of beautiful things. Goodbye!